right. I am back. I am bored. I'm sorry. I'm really bored today. Got what I needed to get done today, and I uploaded my paper after checking it numerous times for any logical errors, latex errors. I haven't worked in latex for a while, and that sounds really perverted. Not what you think it is. If you don't know, latex is a program for writing things, like writing papers and stuff like that. It formats things for you. It's I wouldn't say it's complicated, but I mean, it's something you definitely have to learn. It's kind of like programming in Python or, C++. It's something similar in that, and it's very rigid in its structure. So I had to relearn how to do that a little bit. So I was working in Python. I was working in latex today. There you go. Take it for what it's worth. But I was on the social media, and I'm telling you, I cannot find a single solitary person that wants to debate this. I grant that it's new. I do understand that, right? So even though it's only been a couple days, there's been, not a lot of activity on it. I understand that. However, when I posted on social media, and I posted on Facebook pages, and I posted on Twitter and every other place I can think of, I just can't get anything. I mean, I'll get a few people will be like, oh well, they're the same. Okay, if they're the same, how? Well, because reasons. Well, no, you need to explain this to me. Here's my paper. Here's my proof, which is a logical proof. How are you going to sell this? And I did put the paper in the video description, so if somebody wants to read it later and then maybe try to debate me on it or discuss it with me later, that's fine. But I took the argument from my blog and basically just converted it into latex and then put it to academia edu. So I'm looking forward to seeing how atheists will argue this, because I have not tested this argument in real time yet. I've tested the argument as far as logical consistency, soundness, validity, and all that. I know it's a good argument, or I believe very strongly it's a good argument. I don't see any errors with it. The people I've asked to proof it hasn't seen any errors in it. So with that, I'm pretty confident that my paper is pretty good. I still want to see how somebody's going to argue against it, because that's how you test your arguments. You test your arguments by allowing people to try to assail them. And so far, nobody has. I mean, there's been one person, not even going to mention his name because it doesn't matter. He's making some video, but it's like this guy doesn't even know basic logic. And it's like, look, you're going to assail my paper and you don't use logic or understand the logic, then you can't assail it. Don't come at me if you don't understand what I'm talking about. That just is a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. I found that most people that watch the atheist community of Austin or cite Matt Dillahunty have no understanding of philosophy whatsoever, certainly not of logic. And so those are the people, though, that I want to have show me that my work is wrong in real time, preferably. Sure, I'll argue with them in the comment section. I'll argue with them on social media. But the reality is, in real time, that's where it's at. Because if you could defend your work in real time, you got something strong. And I think that I can defend my arguments in real time. So anyways, I see Mr. Blackworth out there. Hey, Mr. Blackworth, I don't know. Did you read my thing? I know you were with me last stream this morning when I went over it. But I did make some changes to it. Not a lot, just for clarification purposes. And then I put it on Academia edu. Yeah, so I got some people have seen it so far. That's it right there. Yeah, it's already got 27 views so far. Let me up 32 views. Woo! 32 views. Yay! Yeah. Someone, I get a notification. It just says like someone searched for you on Google and found your academic edu page. It doesn't tell you who. It just says someone. Right? Maybe that was Wolf that just clicked on it. I don't know. But, long story short, I really do want to find somebody that supports the atheist community of Austin, the Matt Dillahunty stands, to show me that this proof is wrong. They never bothered with my last one, right? I mean, my paper that has like almost 4,000 views is going on. Nobody has shown is wrong on that one. Nobody. I want to see if this paper is similar. Because if there's an error, I will fix it. People know that. I've seen errors in my work before, of course, and I've fixed all of them. Usually I do it in real time. Like this morning, I went over this in real time because when I'm going over it in real time, explaining it to people, I can spot the errors because it makes sense to me because I understand it. But when I'm reading it and I go, oh crap, I forgot to do this, then I fix it because obviously I understand my own paper. So I could recognize in real time when I make an error. But so far, nobody wants to play. Wolf, do you understand my paper? I'm just curious. Well, I know you don't really have an interest in it, but he's on the roof, so he's probably not paying attention. So let me ask, how do I get people to argue this? How do I get people to understand, one, that they're wrong about their positions? I've been trying for years. I read a proof that literally proves it logically, that I think is actually, dare I say, brilliant, because I didn't use anything really to do with the definition of atheism per se. I mean, one part does, but it really is talking about atheist, not atheism. And so if you're going to talk about Google's definitions and you're going to use the Google definition for atheism, then it makes sense you're going to use a Google definition for theist. That makes perfectly good sense to me. If you say, look, this is the definition for atheism, and they prescribe it, which is horrifying, then let's use theist and let's see what happens if you prescribe that. I find this to be incontrovertible. It is unassailable to me. I think this is a proof positive that when you start just mixing words around, you can lead to contradictions. If I say something is a cat and not a cat at the same time, that's a contradiction. Correct? But I'm going to say, oh, well, it's not a cat, it's a dog. I'm just going to call it a dog. Well, no, but it's still a cat. But yeah, I'm going to call it a dog. So it's a cat and a dog, so it's no longer a contradiction. But no, it's still a cat. But I'm going to call it a dog. You don't get to play silly little games like that. If you have two members of the feline species, Canis lupus? No, Canis familiaris. Yeah, Canis familiaris domesticus, I think it is, or something like that. But if you have two cats and somebody says, well, that other cat is not a cat, it's a dog, therefore they're not the same species. Well, no, they're still both cats. They have all the properties of cats. You're just calling it a dog. That's what theists do. They just take the term non-theist that includes all the elements in that set, and they just call it atheist, which includes inanimate objects like rocks. But by definition, if they want to play that game, a theist is a person who disbelieves or lack belief in the existence of God. Is a rock a person? No. So you have a problem somewhere. Either you're violating your own definition, which is a contradiction, or rocks aren't atheists, which, again, violates the assertion that non-theist and atheists are the same set size. So anyways, I want to have open lines, and I want to have people come in and join me. I just don't know when to do it. I don't know the best time. Right now it's like early for me, and I don't think it's the best time. People usually come on at night. But let me know in the comment section. So I will leave this up because, again, I don't think I'm going to join this early in the day. I don't get a lot of activity. But if you want to schedule something and you want to debate me on my paper, my recent one, not my older one, that the set of non-theists and the set of atheists are not the same thing. So when the atheist community of Austin says all atheists are non-theists and all non-theists are atheists, you're wrong. I can prove it with math. Sorry. Math don't care about your feelings. Logic doesn't care about your feelings. So I want to have somebody prove to me that they're the same set size using axiomatic set theory, or disprove my paper. If you can prove that if you can prove that atheists and non-theists are the same exact set size, then you've assailed my paper. I think that's the only way you can really do it. I could be wrong on that, but that would be a way to do it at least, right? If you accept the premises, which I think that every atheist from the lack of belief camp, the AC atheists, would accept the premises. Which premises do not they accept? I think every one of them they would have to accept because it's their argument. I'm just showing what happens with their argument, the problems with it. You lead to an unassailable contradiction. Something that is just unavoidable. So anyways, guys, leave me a comment in the comment section if you want to debate me on this after you watch it. And I'll give it a few days. I got some other stuff to work on as well. So if you hit me up, let me know, and I'll schedule something, and I will debate you in real time on this particular paper. Sounds good? All right, guys, I'll leave this up. What the heck? Talk to you later. Bye.